Hi, hope this Monday, the 29th of June, 2026 finds you in perfect peace and shape. I am down here at the farm, yet again, of course, for continuous management and caring towards these our crops, in the bid to boost bountiful harvest. And I just want to continue encouraging my fellow farmers. I just want to continue sharing with you some of the tips that we are using to go through the drought. For sure, the sun is indeed scorching. The rays are ultraviolet. Myself here, I am feeling it. The ground is hot. And here where I farm from, clearly you can see that the ground is stony. You can see right from here that the ground is stony. These stones came from the holes when we were planting this young coffee. But even where this mature coffee is, there are stones, okay? And such grounds are susceptible to the effects of the sun, most especially in a period like this. But when you look at the coffee that we are having here, both this mature coffee that you can see here, around here, as well as this young coffee, at least you can see that they are not that much affected by the sun, and that is majorly because of the practices that we are using. Now, one of those tips that I haven't shared before that I want to share with us, I will use this my young coffee to show you. If you're a farmer out there and you haven't yet discovered the benefits of using sawdust, I hope from this video you will be able to learn and see the importance. Now, for me, I always want to talk about things in the practical sense of them. I don't just gather theory and come here and share with you theory. I usually want to talk about things from my own experience and, if possible, show you so that you can have the confidence as you are venturing into or as you are managing your own plantation. But most importantly, my target usually is for that person who is doing this for the very first time, like myself. So, what are some of the benefits of using this sawdust, if I may show you? When you look at this plant, this is coffee that I planted in April this year, 2026. That is April, May, June. This is only the second month of this coffee, but you can see how it looks like even under this scorching sun, okay? Now, the clonal cuttings that we plant these days, like I planted myself in this plantation, they majorly have fibrous roots. The fibrous roots which don't go deep into the ground, so they are usually, in fact, most of these mature trees, when you go just around their stems there, you can evidently see the roots. So they have fibrous roots, they don't go deep. So meaning, a young coffee plant like this one, with this scorching sun, would already be suffering from stress. In fact, it would have, I think the thing is wilting, for lack of a better word, okay? It would have wilted. But you can see how lively this coffee plant looks, okay? And I want to show you this plant. Cameraman, come with me. I want to also show you another young plant here. Another young plant there. I want to show you another young plant here. Another young plant here. I want to show you even another young plant right there. Then still, there's another young plant right here. Okay? All through, these are plants we planted in April this year. And June, that is April, May, June. In June, we are seeing or experiencing the sun. But you can see, like I was saying, how lively these crops are. And if you can notice very well, what we used is, of course, spot mulching. I explained it in my previous video. But what material did we use when we were spot mulching? We used sawdust. The practical advantages I have experienced with sawdust is that it really does a very good job in keeping the water retained in the soil for a much longer period of time. Of course, on top, it looks dry. When you look at this, it looks dry, as you can see. But if the cameraman can come close, I am going to scratch for you below. You can clearly see that the soil below is actually still what? It is actually still moist. It is even black and moist, as you can see. Now, this is what these plants are enjoying as a result of spot mulching using sawdust. You can even see right here. Clearly, this is even still very what? It's still even wet, the sawdust itself. On top, it looks like it is dry, but when the water is actually, the moisture is maintained right down below. I think so far, from my experience, most especially for one who is intending on using spot mulching, which of course also helps in economizing on if you find yourself when you don't have enough mulching material like myself here. If you can come across sawdust, it does a very good job in spot mulching. I can assure you it can keep water in the ground for more than even 2 weeks, regardless of how hot the sun may be. Remember, like I said, this that I am talking about, you can practically see. I have shown you a series of plants actually in this entire row, even the other rows, because what we did for the mature coffee, we used different plant, rather mulching material. We used the stems of maize after harvesting it. Okay, that's what we used. But for this one, for this young coffee, that's where I actually started from with the experimenting with sawdust. But you can clearly see the results are extremely good, most especially with retention of moisture in the ground. Even grass does so well, but comparing the two, this for me so far is the winner. And the good thing about using this organic matter, eventually when it dries, it turns into soil, black soil moreover. And for a ground like mine, which is mainly stony, as you can see, all these stones came from the holes, you know, using such material helps you in reclaiming the ground, as well as, you know, successfully running your coffee farming venture. So you can see it is hot, but my trees, as I've been sharing, are looking really, really healthy. So you might want to also look for sawdust and use it when it comes to mulching. And it does so well, like I mentioned, when it comes to spot mulching, because it's hard to get a sawdust that is going to cover, for example, these 500 or so. These are actually, it's about 3 acres, you know, to cover 3 acres, the entire ground. So that's why I utilize spot mulching using sawdust, but it does so well with spot mulching. So you want to try this out at your farm in the bid to navigate the drought. Of course, taking note that we are maintaining a basin so that when the water comes, it is kept around and it goes deep to feed the roots of that particular plant where the spot mulches are being applied. But also, on a scale of 1 to 10, even the mature coffee is not doing bad. It's you can see it's not yet showing the effects of the heat stress. It's flowering, it's, you know, carrying fruit, but also the leaves are looking quite lively, even with the scorching sun. Benefits of spot mulching, and of course it's on top of that, now that we are going to be utilizing our water system somewhere above at this farm. So I thought that I needed to share this with you, my dear viewers, most especially you who is starting out for the very first time. You know, one of the challenges you're going to encounter in any kind of crop farming is heat, the scorching sun. That one is a major challenge. At any one point in time, you should be there knowing that truly well, and better you plan for it in advance as you're establishing your crop farming venture, whether coffee, banana, or whatever it is that you're planning to get into, most especially for the perennial kind of crops, okay? are those that you plant once and you just keep maintaining and harvesting from them. All right. So spot mulching using sawdust is a winner. I have experienced it today. I can now confidently and comfortably and firmly share it with you out there who is getting into this for the very first time, but even you who has been here for some time and you didn't know this. So I think that's it from me to you, my dear friends who take off some time to follow what I share and learn from me. May the good Lord bless you for me and grant you a fruitful and productive week ahead. Until next time, cheers and happy farming.